Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on The Flash Season 6 with a bit of a Crisis on Infinite Earths influence, if you want to call it. So this coming week is the final week of the Arrowverse shows until the long-awaited and epic Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover event, until that starts. Of course, the crossover starts on Supergirl next week, but the first show to air in the final week before Crisis, the first show to have their mid-season finale, is that of Batwoman, and then Supergirl, and then of course Flash and Arrow later in the week. Now, if things play out the same way to that of the week before the Elseworlds crossover from last year or last season, we should get the same teaser that plays after all the shows throughout this week. I'm sure most of you will remember the teaser from last year that played at the end of all the shows in the week before Elseworlds. It was that Earth 90 scene where we saw it pretty much completely obliterated is probably the best way to use, and the Earth 90 Flash, who will show up again in Crisis, was questioning the Monitor on why he did what he had done. Of course, we knew he was testing various Earths, which then saw him show up in Earth 1 pretty much straight after this. Now, the only thing that might affect all the shows throughout the week having a Crisis teaser is the fact that only half of them, have really done anything or been doing anything Crisis related in the build-up. Batwoman has had zero outside of an Elseworlds reference, and that is due to the fact that she is a bit further back in the timeline. Her fifth episode took place just after Elseworlds happened, so that should give you a hint as to where they are in regards to the timeline. And Supergirl hasn't had any for the most part, but I would expect them to have a big reference within the show outside of any teaser at the end, as Supergirl's Earth, that being Earth 38, will be the focus of the first part of the Crisis event the following week. So maybe towards the end of their episode there is some setup there, maybe they see something's going wrong or something. But as I always say too much in my videos, and I think I've said already twice in this video so far, that's for us to wait and find out. But if I had to make a prediction in regards to what the end teaser scene could be that we do get on all the shows, if we do get the same one, it could be maybe the Monitor and Harbinger, aka Lila Michaels, together, saying that the Crisis has started or something, and Harbinger, is sent out on her duties, which we will bring up again later in the video as she is connected, or at least most likely connected to what's going on. But of course, throughout the video, let me know your various opinions, and do get involved in regards to what we go over in a second, because you might have different opinions in regards to what certain things mean, or what certain people line up in certain areas and stuff, so do get involved, because I'm interested to see what you guys think, because I don't think anyone's going to necessarily 100% agree. But of course, if you found this video interesting and you enjoyed it and all that, and you're excited for Crisis, why not drop a like on the video as well. But as we should all know, well, if you're watching The Flash at least, and this is labeled as a Flash video, so I'd expect that you do watch The Flash if you are watching this video anyway. So yeah, if you are watching this, or The Flash this season, we of course had the main Bloodwork arc, which ties into Barry's journey into Crisis, but I guess the main side story outside of that main arc with Bloodwork is the one attached to the new Harrison Wells for this season, that of course being Nash Wells. Now, we had him detecting Eternium, with him then finding this, wall of just rock. But lined in the wall is that of Eternium, and throughout the episodes after that, we see him get through all of that. And as we saw last week, or in the most recent episode, in a pretty random scene, if I'm going to be honest, as it just cuts to him for 1 minute out of the episode, and that was it. But we see him use another device to break through the remaining rock around the Eternium, and we are met with another wall. But this is what he was after. This is the entrance to whatever Marnovu, or the Monitor, as we are more commonly referring to him as, is hiding down here. Now, what we see here is going to be the focus for the video, as this most likely, at least, connects to Crisis in a very interesting way, almost making everything that goes down, or at least the people that are brought in, almost like a prophecy or something like that, or it is, destiny. So as you can see on the wall, there are 7 symbols. Now, yes, I know Marnovu has 7 letters in his name. People have said, oh no, Pagey, it just means Marnovu. Why the hell would this dude just be writing his own name on the wall that is outside of his Earth base, most likely? He isn't 8 years old writing his name on his bedroom door. Or was I the only one that did that as an 8-year-old? I don't know. Let's move on. So yeah, these symbols, in my opinion at least, and I'm sure we will find out this week on The Flash if this is true, hopefully at least, are the symbols of the 7 Paragons for Crisis on Infinite Earths. Now, before we jump into what each symbol connects to or represents, I think it is important to bring up a question some of you might be thinking to yourselves right now, and that is, what the hell is a paragon page? You just don't drop random terms that aren't really that common. And I'm just going to use the Google definition, as I think it just really relates perfectly to what the Crisis crossover might do with the term in relation to who it connects to. And that definition is a person or thing regarded as a perfect example of a particular quality. And you might get a hint as to what could be going on here based off that definition. I think what you're going to see here is that each of these paragons that is selected and that or just relates to him, is going to be, to them, not him, but to them, is going to be the best or potentially the most worthy in a certain trait or just strength. Whether that be courage, strength, intelligence, hope, stuff like that. You can go through various traits if you wanted to. Because as we go through the characters who I think are each of these paragons that the symbols represent, you might be thinking, hold on, there are 3 or 4 much more powerful heroes in the Arrowverse than some of these characters, why aren't they there? And the explanation will be that these 7 are the strongest, or as I said, most worthy in these various fields possibly. Now, interesting thing that I wouldn't mind you guys having a guess at in the comments, which strength or trait do you think applies to each of these characters? I'm interested to see if anyone can line them up right. And before we jump into them, I'm not saying them, these are the exact 7. These are just this is just my guess. And I did run by this by a decent amount of you on Twitter. I'm sure some of you watching were there on Twitter when I was doing this stuff. And through some back and forth, I think we came up with a decent 7 contenders. And one thing I will say afterwards, which connects to all of them, it does make a lot of sense that these are the correct 7 based off what we know, but one is so obvious it isn't even funny, but yeah, let's go through them. So starting from left to right, so the left of your screen over, we start off with what looks to be like a tuning fork. A lot of people were referring to it as a tuning fork, but most seem to agree that this was Black Lightning. It sort of looks like a rigid and just straightened up version of his logo, if you want to call it. What's on the front of his suit. Now, Black Lightning will first show up in part 3, which is the Flash episode of Crisis, but it has been said in various interviews with Cress Williams, who plays Jefferson Pierce or Black Lightning, that he does play a crucial role in the event, larger than many would expect of him going into it. And I think for them to put for them to go out of their way to bring Black Lightning into the crossover, they will make it evidently clear early on in regards to the importance of his role. If you're going to go to the effort, they didn't have to bring him in if it's just going to be a little cameo and stuff. If he's going to play a big role, that's why they felt the need to bring him in. It makes it worth their time. Now, there is another option as to who this could possibly be. This first option. It's the only one where I think there's another option in regards to someone that isn't in this 7, but I will come back to them later on. Now, next up is that of Batwoman. Now, there is a possibility that this is a helmet. It could be a few people who wear helmets, but I personally think this is representing the chest area of Batwoman, where, of course, her bat emblem lays. I don't think there is much more to say about that, to be completely honest, but next to her, it seems to be the Flash cowl. A lot of people agree with that. You can even see the little things on the side, which could represent the wings on the side of his Flash cowl. Might look a bit odd, but I think this is going, for more of an ancient look, as if this was done a while ago, so it just can't straight up look exactly like what the Flash cowl would look like, or even what the bat emblem would look like. Now, I am going to do the next 2 together. Now, I wasn't too sure what the middle one could be, to be honest. If it had an extra couple of lines, you could say it looks like a spider or something, but next to that is this symbol here, which a couple of people on Twitter seem to agree is that of the Lantern of Compassion, which is connected to the Indigo tribe in the Green Lantern side of the universe, like the Lanterns and stuff like that. And in the comics, one character on a current Arrowverse show and who will be in the crossover has been attached to the Indigo tribe, and that is of Ray Palmer, aka the Atom. So I would say he is the one that connects to that symbol. You could make the argument that it does maybe look a bit Kryptonian, and there are symbols that look somewhat like that, but the Lantern of Compassion definitely looks more like it than anything. And I wouldn't turn you down saying it's Kryptonian, but Lantern of Compassion I think is better, and it connects to the Atom as well. But obviously, if it was Kryptonian, it could connect to Supergirl or even Superman. And therefore, because I think the Atom is most likely that that 4th one along, I think just by default, Supergirl just fits that other emblem. I just think, don't ask me why. She's just going to be there, as it's the only one left, and I know she's going to be a Paragon, so just go with it, I guess. Now, the next one is something that, outside of knowing this character should be amongst this group, I didn't really jump at the connection, and that is that many people think this symbol here connects to that of the White Canary, aka Sarah Lance. Obviously, it sort of looks like something with wings. A canary is a bird, so it has wings. So there is the connection there. When I come back to something we know will happen in the Crisis event, you will realize, that it makes sense that all these characters are the Paragons. And the last one, if, I even have to say, is obviously Green Arrow. I mean, it's a goddamn arrowhead. It may as well just say Oliver Queen or have a picture of his goddamn head there. It's just so obvious. But in regards to the events early on in Crisis that heavily suggest that the characters brought up in this video are indeed the Paragons, is the fact that Harbinger, or as I said before, Lila Michaels, and is also like basically the Monitor's right-hand person, will be picking up the Paragons. We know she picks up Batwoman, Green Arrow, the Atom, White Canary, and the Flash. We all know this thanks to the various teaser trailers that were brought out, and we just know this basically from filming as well. And as we know, everyone is taken to Earth 38, where Supergirl resides, who would presumably be another Paragon. So there is only one left, and that seems like it is going to be Black Lightning. But if you remember, he was given his own teaser trailer as well, his own focus. Is that hinting that, you know, all the teaser trailers were for Paragons? It has been said that he has a crucial role, as I said before, bigger than many would expect. However, it could be argued that, you know, possibly Pariah, who is another version of Wells, could be a Paragon and be one instead of Black Lightning. But due to the timing that Black Lightning comes into the crossover in the Flash episode, it's not too late. If anything, it's probably a good time for him to come in, and he sticks around as well. He's in more than just that episode. But as I said, this isn't 100% in regards to who the Paragons are, or, you know, if, you know, those are the symbols they connect to. But there is evidence out there already to suggest that they are the ones that are destined to be the Paragons, the ones we've mentioned. But we are only just over a week away from definitely knowing, and you never know, we might find out on the Flash episode later this week. Maybe it's a bit of an early Crisis gift and just some Crisis info. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much all to go over. Just wanted to focus straight up on the Paragon stuff. But if you enjoyed the video, it would be awesome if you could drop a like and it shows support. Let me know in the comment section down below your various opinions on what we went over, and of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. And yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.